Oh, hey guys, it's your boy Alex from Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber, bringing you episode 24. Super stoked, almost at episode 25, and just so excited to bring you guys so much more and take this podcast to another level for your laughs and your good times and your drives to work, whatever that may be. Today's episode, we are reviewing the movie Manhunt, available on Netflix. We didn't quite enjoy this movie a lot. It's still a great movie by John Woo, but because of that, we got into a little fan fiction debate over Star Wars and a few other things. So this episode's a little different towards the end. We still brought you awesome recommendations that you should definitely go and check out. Keep an eye on our Instagram, HSTSC33, for a list of those and a few pictures of those. But I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll come back next week with an even better movie and with episode 25. But enjoy. Here we go, episode 24.
Welcome to Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber. This is your Sunday. This is recording is on Sunday, yeah. Sunday live stream, Friday, Kung Fu Friday release.
Yeah. We are a movie review podcast
For all of your big and your small
nerd needs.
Even that moth was uninterested in the movie.
Not only that, guys, we bring you your binging. We bring you awesome recommendations weekly.
Ooh, I got some recommendations for you
for your binging, reading,
and listening
and gaming needs.
Yeah, all your needs. We cover all of it.
All five senses.
Yeah,
your touching needs.
Yeah,
and your smelling needs.
But this is not ASMR.
And your testing needs.
Yeah,
testing or tasting.
Tasting. Yep,
that's
taste testing.
Yep.
Testicular.
Wait, hold on.
Wait.
No, that's not right.
I was confused because your phone started ringing.
We just give you pleasure in all areas.
We do, guys. Happy.
Just making everything fall today. This is fantastic.
Not every podcast or live stream needs to be a 9/11. Never forget.
Not every podcast is highly professional.
We're working on.
That's part of our charm.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
I know how to turn on the charm.
Hey,
we can,
Bill Gates started in his parents' garage. Steve Jobs started in his parents' garage.
Who else? Michael Jackson. Oh,
started in his parents' garage.
Michael Myers
started in his parents' garage.
And Anne Hathaway
started in her uncle's garage.
No, that's the difference. And that's why she's more successful than all those guys. Not really, though.
Started in her parents' garage.
Really, though? Was it a garage? Would you really call that a garage?
It was more like a bedroom add-on.
I want somebody to fact check all of this later.
Just tell us how freaking messed up we are. But
ridiculous.
Guys, we reviewed today a movie called Manhunt, which you guys can access on Netflix. We're trying to make sure we get movies that you guys can watch with us.
That way we don't always have to. I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of great blockbusters that we went and saw, and we have not been disappointed. And then we watched this on Netflix, and we were greatly disappointed.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It wasn't too bad.
Too bad. Ooh. Well, we can get around to it.
Shall we start with our recommendations of the week and then we get into the movie?
Heck yeah, let's do that. Nikon's is a great idea.
Let Myron get us started off with these recommendations. I know he's got a good list right now.
All right.
So. Myron is Nikonsi.
They know by now.
No, they don't.
And also, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm Alex. Who's that guy over there?
Oh.
Dramatic pause.
You mean me?
Yeah.
I'm Khan.
Yeah.
Or Cookie Ninja Carve. We're streaming on my Twitch.
So right now he is known as Cooking Ninja Carve. Anyway, Nikansi, what recommendation do you have for us today?
So this past 3 weeks, we have been getting hit with a lot of great music, especially from
Right in the throat, apparently.
the Good Music record label, which is Kanye West's record label. So first album they released was Pusha T's album called Daytona, which is and each of these albums is a 7-track album, but produced by Kanye and Pusha T. Just fantastic drug raps, high luxury drug raps. And he's just so slick with his words.
What is drug raps? What is that?
Oh, cocaine. Raps on cocaine. Raps
Oh,
about
okay.
cocaine.
He talks
Got it.
about
Yeah,
la coca,
yeah.
la cocaína.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I get it.
But the way he does it is so like, just like
I understand.
flawless. Like,
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's flawless about it? Like, what do you mean? Like,
he's just you just need to listen to his wordplay
really- yeah.
between his beats that he selects. None of these. He never wants to make a pop record. He doesn't want to. He doesn't care to be on the radio. But for this album, he wanted a nice body of work that had a beginning and end, a complete sentence. He said in an interview, and everybody's considering this one of the greatest rap records of this year.
dang, I need to go check it out.
Only 7 tracks,
I'm sold.
but yeah. And then the next following week, Kanye comes out with his album. Fantastic production.
What was the name of that one?
Yay.
Okay.
Which it means you, and then it also is a nickname for his full name, Kanye.
Got it.
And they have he has amazing songs on there. There's one about his daughter that you would really love. You should
That one-
it's about just having kids and the struggles and stresses that he goes through. And it just hits home. It's just like, oh, so sweet.
So can I just say that Nikansi gave me the homework of actually listening to the Ye album, and I was like, I don't know. After hearing that Poopity Scoop song,
Which was just for him to talk shit. Like, it's not a real song.
yeah,
I think he had a lot of fun with it.
It's not a
he
real
was just
song.
he was just like, I'm gonna honey dick. the
That's
public.
exactly what he did. 'Cause
Yeah.
everybody's waiting for his album. So
Yeah.
he's like, here's this.
We're waiting for the beat to drop for like a minute and 45 seconds. But despite that, I went and listened to that album, and you know what? It was freaking dope.
He even has an amazing song to his wife.
Yeah. Wait, no, the first one?
It's,
Not the first one, right?
No, no.
Because
Not
I
the
think
first one.
I think the first one is to his wife, huh? As well.
No, not really. It's really about himself and his it says, I thought about killing you.
Mhm.
Well, this is basically, he says that he loves himself so much, and this album goes into his bipolar issues. But he said that if he loves himself so much and he thinks about killing himself, then all of his enemies, he definitely thinks about killing you.
Okay.
And then he goes halfway in, he starts rapping hard on that track.
Old school Kanye.
Yeah.
This entire album was it was a lot to take. It was a lot heavier than I was expecting from Kanye, and I was telling the rest of my friends, like, I enjoyed a lot of the songs on The Life of Pablo, but I didn't enjoy the album as much. Whereas this, I felt like it was a much better contained, like, storytelling. Out of 7 tracks, that barely adds up to like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I really like The Life of Pablo because it was everything put together of all of his work, and it was based on Pablo Picasso.
Oh, right.
And his works of art and the period of his
So him kind of like
creativity.
jumbling it up into one like kind of cluttered abstract mess.
Yes,
And that's exactly what that album was, because if you listen to the album, you're like, there are some songs on there, they're like, what is this doing on this album?
And what he's doing is he's pulling everything from his whole career
Mhm.
into this final product.
To where it just looks like a painting by Picasso.
Pretty much.
Dude.
Because by the end of Pablo Picasso's career, all of his stuff was pretty abstract. So his whole album, he changed 2 days before releasing it, or a few days before releasing it.
Whoa, really
so-
Kurt Cobainish of him.
So he has a whole nother album that has probably amazing tracks on it,
Uh-huh.
but he's holding it for
Yeah.
some other time.
Interesting.
He felt that this was the right time to release this music
Wow.
that he chose.
No, it
So-
really was.
Even like the song "Wouldn't Leave,"
Mm-hmm.
his wife didn't hear that track until it played. She played it for her that night,
Oh, that's dope, man.
and she was crying. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Even though, I don't know. Anyway, I have mixed feelings about Kim Kardashian. But anyway.
yeah, I mean, I don't agree with everything they do or next to anything they do.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he makes good music.
Yeah.
His beats, phenomenal. The production value, and the way he chooses to layer vocals, and then take them away, and then isolate them, even pause to where it's complete silence on the track, and then rips it to the original sample of what he borrowed, and then brings it back to whatever he created, is like crazy.
There's a reason why he's the king and why so many people are asking him to produce their albums for him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah, dope recommendation. Thank you for making me listen to that.
And guess what?
What's that?
So that was a week after Pusha T's album.
Right.
Then he released this one.
Uh-huh.
And then just this weekend, he releases a Kid Cudi and Kanye West album.
Oh, shit. I got to go listen to that
Called,
immediately.
Kids See Ghosts, and it's phenomenal. This shit is crazy.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to that. I don't care for the first track.
Okay, just get through it. Got it.
No, you should listen to it once.
Or muscle through it. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, muscle through it. I mean, it is cool until it hits the chorus, which they're just sometimes they're ridiculous. Even at the end of the chorus, he goes, somebody says, "Where's the chorus?" Like either Kid Cudi or Kanye says that on the track. Where's the chorus?
That's funny.
They're just making gun noises.
Oh, okay.
This is ridiculous. Like,
Okay.
really? What is this? And then, but once the rest of the album hits, it's like you just want more. You realize the chemistry that Kanye and Kid Cudi has, and it's
That's
a good
dope.
album.
Very
And
cool.
Guess what?
More?
Guess what? Yes, this Friday, Nas has an album,
Oh, shit.
all produced by Kanye.
Wow.
And then the following week, Tiana Taylor, who people have been waiting for music from her forever, since Kanye signed her, has her album come out, all produced by him.
Okay, so what kind of, is she like R&B?
Yeah, she's
soul?
R&B.
Cool.
Crazy voice.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, he produced a whole Nas album, like one of the king MCs,
Completely under.
which is
like,
crazy. It's crazy.
This
Like,
boy's been busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of Kanye West production. Yeah.
Very cool.
And A$AP Rocky released an album, which is actually really good.
A$AP Rocky?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good album.
What kind of genre is he?
He's rap as
Also
well.
rap?
All
Along the lines of like Kanye, or kind of like, what would you...
He's more chill,
Okay.
but he chooses amazing music, like amazing beats. A lot of LSD and trippy stuff.
Sick.
He's good friends with Tyler the Creator.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be...
So they have this kind of outside. They like to try crazy stuff.
outside the box.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then this Friday as well, J-Rock from Top Dog Entertainment, who is famous for bringing out Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock's album drops.
There you go.
There's
Another one.
of
Yeah.
I
music
lost
there.
count. But
That's like 6 albums.
six albums.
Like-
It's not only is it a blockbuster summer, but it's a freaking summer for good ass hip hop music.
Crazy.
So go get on your Spotify, get on wherever you listen, and find these albums.
One more.
One more thing.
Black Thought released an EP, and Black Thought is from The Roots,
Okay.
a long-running hip-hop group.
I know The Roots.
They're on Jimmy Fallon.
And you should too.
But Streams of Thought,
The Roots.
another really good EP. Just non-stop music.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Plenty to listen to this summer. Junior, you look like you're itching to give us a recommendation.
Actually, I've been working all weekend, so I haven't actually had too much time to like explore like I normally do.
Junior got a job. Hey,
So proud of him.
Is this your like first official like
This
payroll?
This is my first like I got this shit on my own.
Yeah.
Like I've been trying to get a job for a year and a half. Not successfully, but you know, between doing the stream and then the pod and then going to work at the machine shop, like finally getting my own job so I can work more than 12 hours a week.
So Junior's
pretty
been you've been adulting like a motherfucker lately. But he's kicking booty. We're super proud of him.
Also, all of the free samples that I've brought home has also saved us a lot of money.
That's been pretty.
It's pretty good.
Nice little benefit.
Perks.
Well, I do have a recommendation that you might be interested in. Junior.
Oh well, tell me so that I can tell you if I'm interested.
Yeah, and then tell the listeners. maybe they'll like it. I've been well, as Nikansi had announced a couple podcasts ago, we're doing a manga review like blog online, and it's what is the name of the website?
hstsc.wordpress.com.
Okay, so you guys can go there, and what we do is we call it skip it.
To skip or continue.
To skip or continue. And we'll read the first 10 chapters of the manga, and we'll react to each chapter. And then you guys can kind of make your decision from our review to either skip it or to continue. I think we're going to come up with a more... Skip it or flip it. Like flip the page? Is that... No?
Oh,
Nah.
well,
All right, we'll work on it.
Whoa.
We'll work on it. The manga that I've been reading lately that I've freaking love is called World Embryo.
Interesting name.
I think it's an older manga, but basically what's going on is there are these creatures that infect human bodies by riding the electrical waves, you know, through our
I'm listening, but I also have to check the stream.
Sure. They through like the cell phone waves, right? Like satellite radio waves, I guess. Yeah, radio waves.
Yeah.
And what happens is they will, if you're walking near them, they will cause a frequency to activate your cell phone, activate a call. And when you pick up the phone call, you get infected by this creature, this parasite, and you turn into this crazy, like what they call a oh my gosh, I'm completely unprepared. Give me a second, guys.
This has amazing art.
Yes, the artwork is amazing. They're called kanshus. And you turn into a kanshu, and you just basically lose your memory, all your being, and you go out and you start, you know, just doing. You're kind of like a minion of like this, what they call the source of the infection, and you just kind of do his bidding. And basically it follows the story of a kid. His name is Amami or Riku. And what's going on with him is he ends up at a hospital where his childhood friend was at, the last place that he saw her, where she died. He received a text message from her, but wait a minute, she's supposed to be dead.
Nanny?
What the fuck is going on? Why am I getting text message? So he went and investigate what was going on.
Right.
And he runs across two people. One was an old buddy that he met at this hospital when he was injured, and the other one was just like just a girl that he was with. And it turns out that these are what are called jinky users. And what jinky users are these people who...
I'm gonna need you to spell that a little bit so I can figure out if it's like jinkies, as in yikes, or is it like
Jinki.
jinkies?
Jinky. Wowzers.
Yeah.
And basically you can manifest a weapon out of thin air, and you're able to fight on the same playing field as these Khonshus.
What's this called again?
World Embryo.
This is a little darker than what you usually
Yeah.
read.
It is
That's
my...
That's why I was like, I'm impressed
I'm looking
right now,
at this right now, and I'm like, it's kind of dark.
It's out of my realm, guys. But what I did is I jumped on mangapanda.net, and I clicked on the old surprise me button.
Ooh.
Nice. Ooh, I like it.
And started to read. And
Well, that's kind of exactly what the blog is about, right?
fuck yes. And I was very pleasantly surprised. So the first 10 chapters, by the way, guys, is the prologue? No, the epilogue. And basically it's how without spoiling anything, it's how Riku...
No, you're right. Prologue.
Yeah. Prologue? Okay.
Epilogue's at the end.
Oh, okay. Good. So it's basically how Riku gets caught up in this whole mess of the Khonshus. And he finds during his first encounter with a Khonshu, he finds an egg in one of the wings of the hospital. And as he's being attacked by these Khonshus, and his childhood friend and that girl were defending him and trying to save him, the egg there's like a big bright flash of light, and then he wakes up, and it seems like it's a dream, but it ends up actually being real, and he gets himself, it unfolds from there. Very cool action, very amazing art. Once you get past chapter 10, holy shit, it takes off. I mean, it's already good, the first 10 chapters, but they go into the concept of what the Khonshu is and how whether or not humans can perceive them. It's real, like, this won't spoil anything. It's a thing called the memory lapse.
Makes sense.
It's a side effect that humans have when they see a Khonshu. They can't actually physically perceive it.
This is starting to sound
Weird.
like
Trippy.
I don't know what the name is of it, but it's starting to remind me of a very different manga that had lots of crazy fish eyes and stuff.
Well,
I feel like the concept.
Are you talking about Parasite?
No.
Oh.
Well, definitely go check it out, guys, and check out hstsc.wordpress.com. When this is released, I would have spent the entire week writing my reviews on each chapter, and you guys can make that decision if for yourself.
Really quick, Koyo's, I told you before about Koyomi. Koyo stopped by, and he was wondering what the title for that is, using your butchered Japanese.
World Embryo.
That's so butchered Japanese. I don't even understand what he just said.
Such a weeb.
Try and say it again for me.
World Embryo.
Oh, I understand now.
Oh,
That
okay,
makes sense.
yeah.
Now you understand it.
That makes so much.
Man, I can't wait to talk about this movie as well, because I just forgot that when they were speaking English in the movie.
Oh, it's so amazing. Should we get into our
I haven't gotten any recommendations yet.
You came up with
I was just kind of waiting to really think about it, but Blaze Blue Tag came out. And I don't think I was talking about it last week, but I've been hyped for it.
What is Blades Blue?
Yes, you did talk about it last week.
So I actually got to play it.
Okay.
It's the fighting game.
Yeah, it's the fighting game I was talking about last week. So I actually got to play it. And you remember how I was telling you how Dragon Ball FighterZ is really easy to pick up?
Mm-hmm.
This is even easier to pick up.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I'm talking like, it is okay to lower the skill floor for a lot of games. As long as the skill ceiling stays high, you still have a skill gap.
Okay.
Right? So it's like...
kind of like Super Smash.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Everybody knows how to play basketball, but not everybody's actually good at playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole skill gap showing up. So definitely Blaze Blue Tag is easy recommendation. Other than that, there's a couple of just RPGs and stuff that I've been eyeing and I haven't gotten the chance to play. Really particular is a early access title by Hi-Rez Studios. Hi-Rez has made quite a few different games, but they're most notably known for Smite, which is a MOBA game like League of Legends and Dota. However, it is third-person camera, so it's directly behind the player's avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Paladins, which is a first-person shooter, and unfortunately, I think I already said this, but it's like Overwatch, but it is its own game. There's definitely a lot of nuances there that separate it from it, just the same way that Dota and League of Legends are the same game, but not at all. They actually have been working on this project for a long time, before the fad of Fortnite Battle Royale and PUBG, like Royale games, and H1Z1 and DayZ and all sorts of mods. They were working on this as an April Fool's joke, and then they were like, oh wait, like we might actually just want to do this as a custom event, and then it became its own thing. It's called Realm Royale. It is free to play, and definitely recommend people give it a shot. There's, again, it's really it's an early access alpha. The game looks great.
Cat's cracking me up.
And it plays great, and the numbers need to get altered in the game, but I mean, it's only good for the genre. On top of that, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is going to be coming out later on this year.
That's exciting.
That's actually going to be fun. It's going to come out on PC. I'm always strapped for money, but Destiny 2 has a new expansion coming out. They're aiming for a September release, I believe, maybe earlier than that. And
I think we should play this on Xbox.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so Destiny 2, Destiny is made by Bungie, the original Halo developers. So this new expansion is pretty crazy because they're basically doubling the roster size for the game. Because currently there's only like 9 abilities across 3 different classes, right? This new expansion is going to add a completely new zone, some more content, some more gear, some more raids, but also, as far as the abilities are concerned, they're going to bump this from 9 to 18. So they're literally doubling the size of how the game wants to work.
Dang.
Now, you know the way I talk about games, like I have no idea if this is going to end up being good for the game or if it's going to shoot itself in the foot and be like, why would you ever use the old 9 abilities when you can just use all of the new, better 9 abilities? Sorry. I got big hands.
You're very passionate about this.
I mean, you listen to me talk about game mechanics on a billion different games at the same time and link them all together because chess.
Oh, I just mean because you hit the mic arm. You were so passionate about it.
So passionate. And then before we kick it off to the actual movie music recommendation, I gave you a homework list, but for my other friends, I went to a concert back in way at the beginning of June, probably late May, actually, now that I think about it.
Talking about Tricot?
Yeah, Trico, Sean, Polyphia, TTNG, or This Town Needs Guns.
Oh, man, this cat.
Hold on, let's find the source of this meowing.
Oh, she's under her paw. Her paw's, she just wants in. She was outside the door and her paw's like this.
Jesus! This is my baby girl. Sock is my child.
Makes sense. I was like, why
is there so much meowing happening?
Look at her. She just jumped up with it.
Oh man.
Go to bed. I'll be in bed soon. All right, we're gonna wrap this up pretty quickly because that was all I wanted to say was the music recommendation, and that leads us to the movie.
Oh, also check out this girl named Claro. Music, yeah, she's amazing.
Check out Sock's album. She's coming out with the new one. She's a new vocalist
called Meow in the City.
Meow in the City. Who's gonna do the minute plot breakdown?
Unfortunately, there were too many different plot lines in this movie, and this movie was hard to follow, and eventually became disinterested in the movie.
You should do the breakdown.
So the plot breakdown, I'm not gonna, don't give me a minute. Like it's there's too many different things, but basically,
I give you a minute. Go.
oh well, there's this guy. We think he might be, just a guy, but it turns out that he's actually a lawyer, and there are two assassins, or at least we didn't think they were assassins yet, but they get to, they become assassins, and then a little bit later on, we find out that, hey, wait, what's this plot hole? Oh, never mind. We can skip over that plot hole. Then somebody dies, and this guy is being framed for murder. Hence the manhunt. He's on the run, and then there's about 15 different plot lines that escape from that, and it's spider webs. And then by the end of the movie, it does not actually connect together. There's just 15 different spider webs now we have to pay attention to. So I think that was a pretty fair plot. Don't go watch the movie to figure out that plot, please. Like, I'm not recommending this at all.
Now wait a minute. We watched it, and goddamn it, we're a movie review podcast, and we're going to give you a reason to watch it. If not, for you and your friends to make fun of. Especially when the bad English comes into play.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well,
this movie's runtime was how long? It was like a 2-hour movie.
I think an hour and 40 minutes.
It was a long movie, and I think for the first 45, maybe 30 minutes, the English was fine. I had no problems. I was totally like, it's reasonable. And then it became
unbearable.
An unbearably B-rated movie.
Well, there's a reason why we chose this film to watch, and it's because it was directed by John Woo.
Yes.
Who is he is a groundbreaking director.
Yeah.
Basically, he started the movement for what is known as gun fu. What all of you see in video games and The Matrix and all of this bullet ballet, where they take these crazy shootouts and just make them insane. Like,
I mean,
wow.
Super cool action.
Speaking of bullet ballet,
which they do have it in this movie.
There was a good
but
scene
only
where-
like one, maybe 2 times.
Yeah.
One big scene is not enough for me. It's not the reason why I wanted to watch this film.
I will say that one big scene can help a film, but it does not make the film.
Yeah.
It does not.
Because we haven't released the Reborn episode, but
That was scene after scene of amazing scenes.
No, that's what I was gonna say, was like that was scene after scene after scene into a like half hour of like, this is the final scene.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
That's why it was that good. This was like, what's going on? What is going on? I'm intrigued still. An hour later, and I have no idea what's going on still.
I think what took me out of the movie,
he had dengue fever,
was that. Yes, I did have a fever while I was watching this movie. So, but the acetaminophen.
This movie made him hot and
made
bothered.
Yes, it did. I was definitely bothered by the English, and that's what bothered me. I think, like, for sure, what it made it feel like was a cheesy 80s film. I think that there's a perfect amount of English that you can use in an Asian film. And then
none.
And then there's
none, please.
And then there's no, like, honestly, they could have like just had the girl. They could have just spoken for a little bit, and then just like, all right. It didn't make much sense for because what they were doing was like they had the Japanese cop interacting with the Chinese lawyer,
so they spoke English to communicate.
Exactly, which he's been living in Japan for, I think, 4 or 5 years. It was established.
It's hard because that's one of the plot holes I skipped.
That was one of the plot holes, and he's been communicating with these peeps in Japanese. I'm like, bro, you're fine. Just speak Japanese, and you're gonna be okay. And we're gonna be okay because we don't have to listen to this cop, this Japanese clock.
I will, like I said earlier, defend the like first half hour of English. It seemed fine to me, and then it got worse.
Well, then it sounded like his bee got his tongue got stung by a bee, and he couldn't pronounce his English very. He's like, oh, what? What was that
see,
line? It was an epic line.
I
Please.
can't remember, but
it was such a good one-liner.
But it was like he watched The Disaster Artist, and James Franco won a bunch of awards for The Disaster Artist for portraying Tommy Wiseau, and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna deliver my lines like Tommy Wiseau."
Pretty amazing.
Don't die too far if you walk over there to the path of enlightenment.
Pretty much what the guy said.
Then gunshots.
And then gunshots.
Yeah.
So that was our impression of the movie.
Yeah.
I think we need to go into our rating of it.
Oh, before that, I actually really enjoyed
Shortest review ever.
I actually really enjoyed the sound direction for most of the movie. Besides the English, I felt like the sounds were great, minus what I was telling you about, like, oh wow, man, like movie magic for guns. Like a lot of the sounds felt fine, and then a lot of the music was fun, but overall.
So, directing wise, he's the director of Red Cliff, which is a brilliant movie.
Red Cliff is so amazing.
It's so grand and amazing. And then when you watch this, he has weird cuts. Like between regular cuts, and then all of a sudden you get this Star Wars wipe away cut. This fade out. I'm expecting battleships. I was like, yeah.
What was one of the lines? One of the things Myron said at the end of the movie was like, "Oh, it's the X-Men."
Oh yeah, near the end of the film, he comes out of nowhere. It's just,
it was just like this again. This movie was trying to tie like 15 different spider webs worth of plot together, and it was just like, John Woo, you let me down there.
which I don't mind if you give me my bullet scenes.
And
give Nikanti his bullet scenes, John Woo.
Yeah,
God,
what I expect
yeah.
from a John Woo film. Give me crazy action choreography. Don't give me one fantastic shooting scene in like maybe the first 40 minutes and then just give me nothing after that.
This is one thing that I did want to bring up, is that I recently rewatched Face Off, which was also directed by John Woo.
How was rewatching it? Because I haven't rewatched it in a long time.
I think that Face Off was fun. I
It's
had fun
supposed
with
to be.
it. Yeah, like, and it was also just, it was really zany and crazy. And now I'm thinking about it in comparison to this film, and I'm like, you know what? Face Off is a masterpiece. This was like
Comparison.
This was.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it my rating. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10, but I would recommend it to somebody who wants to watch a bad movie, probably under the influence of some kind of herbal essence.
Yeah, put that in your hair and then drink some green tea.
And some green.
Yeah.
We're talking green tea.
Yeah.
And I think you'd have a good time with this movie. I definitely did. There was some cheesiness in there, which I'm always a fan of, and I think that I see what he was going for. It just was not executed as well.
Especially when I showed you the scenes of his other films.
Yes.
Like, this doesn't even compare.
No. I think he wanted something more plot driven, and I don't know.
I mean, technically speaking, we got that.
Well,
There
yeah,
was
for
so
sure we
much-
did.
There were so many cars on that highway, though. That's the thing.
An abundance of it. Hey, maybe we'll watch another John Woo
Full
film
circle.
just to clean our palate, you know.
Speaking of John
What's-
Woo films, have you heard about a John Woo video game? Because that one's a sequel to a film he's made, actually.
Stranglehold, which is an old Xbox 360 game. Probably came out 7 years ago.
I wanted to say it was like
when the-
2005.
Yeah, when the 360 first came out.
Yeah, that was actually a really well executed game with good level designs, and is a really funny speedrun to watch. Should definitely check out some
check
old
that
speedruns out.
Especially since Xbox One is backwards compatible with a huge library
growing
of 360
library.
games.
Oh, Xbox 360. It's still growing. They're still releasing games on Xbox.
Well,
No, I meant like
they're
they're
still
still
doing backwards
Yeah, they're
compatibility.
still like, expanding that.
'Cause they have to do the emulation.
Uh,
But yeah, I definitely skipped this movie.
This is
but
Or-
not this episode.
Or yeah, don't skip this out. I give this movie
Ah.
out of 10.
1 out of 10.
No,
Dang.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Ah, you're nice. You're generous.
I'm so generous.
Not as generous as me.
No, you're
Yeah,
the most generous.
you're being too nice.
Yeah, 3 out of 10. I only
This
like this
movie,
film
like-
for 2 scenes. One, the very beginning scene,
Very cool scene.
which
Chun
gave
Li.
you an expectation that
With
they
Chun.
did not meet.
No, they didn't.
I'm like, when we first watched that scene, I was like, oh, okay,
this
Yeah.
movie's got character.
this is what we're working with. All right, that's nice.
Yep.
I think about the first scene and it's like there was so much going on, and I was telling you guys like, man, I like the music. This is
Here
a
we
good
go.
choice
I
of
was
music.
like, all
This
right,
is
good
great.
choice.
And then like 15 minutes after that, I was like, what is going?
And then I'm like, fuck. This is why we have this podcast, so we watch
Yeah.
the movies you don't want to watch.
It's been a long time since we've had something that's been this bad.
yeah,
You know, we're doing pretty good. I think this is only the second one that we didn't like.
yeah, but we're supposed to be watching some bad movies, so they don't have to watch them.
We're going to go through those for you guys.
This film
Yeah.
though was much better with 2 other people than just by yourself,
Oh,
because we were
Yeah.
cracking jokes the whole time.
Yeah.
So
That
that
was-
made it nice.
Yes, that was a blast.
so Nakansi's out of 10
Yes.
compared to your 5 out of 10. I think mine is pretty. Actually, no wait, Nakansi said 3. I was also going to give it a 3 out of 10 because I got honey dicked. This whole movie was the biggest honey dicking I've had in a long time. I was just ready for the music. I was ready for bullets. I was ready for Chun Li.
Oh, I forgot about Chun-Li. Don't call her the other one though. The
Yeah.
other name I gave her.
And then it was just like, what was going on? Like, am I awake? Is this real life?
It was a rough one. But
And
let's...
Even,
Oh, yeah.
What my continuing statement is simply that even if I had known that this was going to be like a B movie, it probably wouldn't get more than a 4 anyway.
This is very true.
This was a sad honey dicking.
Well, guys,
Indeed.
if you haven't made your decision yet whether or not you're going to watch your movie, we're going to give you a little more, information for you to make that decision with our badass moments. What do you think?
Yeah.
Well,
Do you guys have any badass moments?
I do.
there were.
Okay. Yes.
I do. My favorite scene in the film, which they did, it was like, if you want to, you just look up this film on YouTube and they have the scene cut out
Oh,
of
there
the
you go.
shootout, which is the most important scene. It should have been more
Basically
of these.
the whole plot.
Yeah, you should have had like 5 of these scenes. But it's in when they're on the farm
Oh, right.
and they're handcuffed together.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, I already knew as soon as they're handcuffed together. I'm like, all right, here we go. It's about time. Finally, some crazy fight gun fu scenes. And it happened
Yes.
between throwing a sword and then like unsheathing it while the other person is shooting. And he can't shoot with his right hand because they're handcuffed together. So he's like, you're left-handed today.
That was
I was
such
like,
a
this
good
is awesome.
one-liner.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go. And that's why I got a 3 out of 10.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what gave it its 3 out of 10.
Technically part of the same scene, but my big badass moment was also really homoerotic. And it was that same, like near the end of that same scene where they have to reload a 9mm and he's just like takes the other one, like one guy slams it in there and they hold it together.
Oh yeah, that was
And there's this-
adorable.
This description is
That was fantastic.
and he put his hand on the other's hand and helped him guide it and
but
aim
it was a little homoerotic.
That's okay. Hey, I'm happy that the Asian culture is touching a little more into that department.
They've been touching the most.
A little bromance in a kung fu film. I think that's what kung fu films are. That's why Rush Hour did so well, because that was one of the first, I feel like, romantic films.
I love that
in
movie.
kung fu.
I really
Speaking
love
of
that
Rush
history.
Hour, this isn't really a recommendation, but because the show is over, but it's on Netflix. It's called The Night Shift, and the guy from Rush Hour 1 is a doctor in that show.
Chris
It
Tucker?
is- no.
Jackie Chan?
The Chinese guy, the villain of the
Jun Tao?
entire... Yeah.
Oh,
Jun Tao.
Jun Tao.
Jun
Is
Tao.
Jun Tao!
a doctor on this show, and it was the funniest thing was I recognized his face right away. I was like, Jun Tao!
Jun Tao, what are you doing?
In my mind, I like to take all of this cinematic universe and just kind of plotline it together. So if I were to take this part, this is probably the beginning of Jun Tao's career before he became a kingpin of goods.
Yeah,
Smuggling
goods. Yep,
Yeah,
on the black market.
Started out as a villainous doctor, and then
Was he a villainous, or is he?
He wasn't villainous.
Good to do.
He in the plotline of the show, he served in Afghanistan with one of the other main characters, and they came back to Texas, and they became ER doctors. And he gets some. There's some Vietnam flashback.
What language is this in? Is it in
It's in
Mandarin?
English.
Oh, it's in English.
English. That's why it was funny as hell for me. It was like, that's Jun Tao.
How's his English? Because his English was pretty bad in Rush Hour 1.
I mean, okay, that was at what? That was 2001. He's had like
17 years.
17 years. Or
So he sounds like Zac Efron, just perfect English.
if Zac Efron is your epitome of
unless
English.
unless his Asian accent was just fake.
Danny?
That's not possible. They're not like paid to act like somebody else. Holy shit!
Nani?
What would drive a man
My whole
to
life has
work
been a
as
lie.
what would drive a man to work as a doctor and then to smuggle
Breaking
things
Bad is a
and
pretty
then
good
die
example.
that way?
I have a good one.
What?
So, what happened was that he needed to do an opera. He was a surgeon, right?
Mhm.
He's an ER surgeon, and he had to take on a surgery that was very, very risky.
Oh,
But he had a perfect record. He was like, "I'm not gonna take this shit, man. I'm not gonna take."
That's just
this-
Doctor Strange.
Damn it!
I caught you on
you
that.
can't Benedict us.
But you can get the Cumber Babes.
Well, check it out. The thing is it's kind of like Doctor Strange, except he's not snobby like Doctor Strange because he's got a heart of gold.
Because
and he said,
he was
"You
a
know what?
battlefield medic. Yeah.
He saw he's in the waiting room was the man's wife and the man's young beautiful daughter, who just had eyes, just
That's the beginning
Tearing-
of Rush Hour 2. Stop.
tearing up. No. There's no kidnapping." And she's like, "Please, you gotta save my husband." She's like, "Save my daddy." And he's like,
No, that's just Rush Hour 3 now. 'cause
Hold
she
on.
becomes
"Wait." And he's like, "You know what? I will do the surgery, even as risky it is." Well, what happens is he fails and the man dies and he gets sued and he loses his license to practice medicine, and that's where he has to pick up the job smuggling goods on the black market.
That makes total sense.
You know what's ridiculous is that there was an episode in that show where some chick had to have la cocaína instead of breast implants.
No. Don't spend your money on the cocaine.
See,
Save it for your breast implants.
No.
Oh.
La cocaína.
Even though I'm not an advocate for breast surgery and girls enhancing themselves physically instead of internally and mentally, I would still rather you spend that money on, that instead of cocaine. Don't do drugs, kids. Yes?
I've been busy watching a lot of films this week.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
well, I've
do
been
we-
at work. He's gone to like 5 different movies, I swear.
He really has. Though.
Yeah, I have. Okay, so Hereditary,
Scary.
which
Spooky.
is
Spooky film.
it's supposed to be our modern day Exorcist movie.
Spooky
And
film.
it is.
And Alex say no.
It is a very slow burn horror film, which and it's brilliantly done. You can watch it. When I first watched it, I was like, okay. I don't know how I want to feel about this. Okay. Well, this is not bad. Okay, it's pretty good. Okay, I like that.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
And then after I processed everything at the end of the movie, I was like, whoa, that was really good. I want to watch it again. That shit was crazy.
What?
Yeah.
A horror movie twice?
Yeah.
It had him focused. Now we both know how the Consi gets at movies.
Quiet. It's only when I watch them really late at night, okay, guys? I get tired.
But that's what I'm impressed by. You went to these movies like as I got home.
Yeah.
Like I was tired.
Which was late.
Like I get home at like 7, and that's not too late. But it's like he had full brain power for
Hereditary. If you like horror films, even if you don't like horror films, just kidding, Alex. You don't want to watch this.
I'll never
You'll
watch
have
it.
nightmares.
I will.
But yes, fantastic horror film. Everybody needs to watch this film. Yeah, shit's crazy. They take excerpts from old British museum books, which is where it gets crazy. Like, dang, that shit's close to.
You can
What
like,
if
pull
this
your own
film
thread for it? Yeah.
manifests this entity? Just kidding. I'm not gonna scare you before you drive home at night.
I pretty much always do that in my head anyway.
Oh.
Any scary movie that I watch, I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen right now in my room, as I lie here, freaking having an anxiety attack.
Second movie I watched, Ocean's 8.
Oh, I saw it with
Fantastic
and
heist movie.
I gotta say, I'm a sucker for a heist movie, but Ocean's 8 was a star-studded cast that carried their own weight really well.
Yeah, take a 2-hour film and it doesn't even feel like 2 hours. It was a fun movie.
Okay, now I'm gonna ruin it for you guys. How many more female version of movies are gonna come out? You know what I mean? Of what were once like iconic male movies. So, for example,
A lot.
Ghostbusters,
So
Ocean's 8, anything else?
I still haven't seen Ghostbusters.
Oh, what's nice is they
Ghostbusters,
tie
yeah.
this movie
But-
back to the Ocean's trilogy because the main character is the sister of George Clooney, which is cool. But it started with Kylo. It started with Star Wars. Slowly we started getting larger female roles, which is fantastic.
Which is great. Super stoked about. Don't get me wrong.
It's Marvel.
And this is Hollywood, and they take whatever they want to take and they run with it, and they're running with it now. Everything is going to be females.
This is the new trend because what the trend was at first was taking books and making movies out of them,
Which they're still doing, and they'll never stop doing.
They're not going to stop, and I don't necessarily want them to. And then they started taking comic books and making those
which
into
is
movies.
never going to end now.
Nope.
Not with technology.
And you know what? It's great. I'm not mad at that. And then we had old movies
Being remade.
And then now that I think the newest trend that we're going to see, I'm going to call it right now, market, is iconic male movies being done with an all-female cast. Now, that's great.
You know what this is going to lead to, though?
What?
It's going to lead to all the films that we have been watching for years being remade, but instead of just all male or all female, it's going to be both.
Okay.
I was gonna make
Well,
That's going to happen 10 years from now.
That's great. I just mean like my point that I'm trying to make is not anti-feminist. It's like what? There's no creativity there.
Well,
I think there's a lack of creativity.
What I was gonna say is that at what point are you going to call it creativity? Because it's going to be because creativity, at least in like food,
They did
would be
outdo the Ocean's movies. They outdid them. They're better. This movie is better than all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Ocean's 8 was that good, yeah. What else I was going to say is like, okay, so what would we call female Lethal Weapon? And then what would we call female Point Break?
Oh, they already remade Point Break.
what about Top Gun? What's female Top Gun?
They're already doing a sequel to Top Gun now.
Oh,
Tom Cruise, though?
That's right.
Yep, with Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah.
It's already been filming in San Diego.
Is female Top Gun called Topless Gun, or is that a bad porno name?
Hey.
We hit it. We got it out.
That's already been made. I made that one.
I knew I heard it from somewhere.
You know what's funny? I don't know. Were we having this discussion? You had mentioned Star Wars earlier, and I love that there are a lot of female big roles coming out right now.
Tomb Raider.
But I would have been excited, another movie that was remade, if they made Finn the main Jedi in this movie. I think that would have been more exciting. I think the story would have been richer. And here's why. Just hear me out for a sec.
All right.
Because he was forced into becoming a stormtrooper. And what happened was when he was on his home planet, they came and basically forced everybody into the war and started like taking people hostage and just kind of saying like, oh, we're the first. What is it? What are they considered now?
The First Order.
The First Order, and we're here to make your lives better. Kind of the way that like the Mexican cartel makes small villages' lives better. And
They definitely do. Think about all the money that they have from the La Cocaína.
and then what happens is, what you can do is you can like just kind of see this kid's life, like, you know, kind of unfold. You can kind of be like he meets Rey, but you know she has like a different role. She can be like kind of the Han Solo role, more like that. Still would have been a strong female role, you know, where she's kind of the mechanic and she's
Femme Solo would have been a pretty cool idea.
that would have been dope. She would have been a dope freaking pilot, and we could have focused on Finn becoming the, you know, the first movie, and then the second movie would have been more on his background and how he kind of finds himself in his purpose, as opposed to just doing a female Anakin, because that's basically what he is.
I mean,
Or
the thing is,
you mean what she is?
She is. Rey is basically a female Anakin,
But
she was deserted on a desert planet, and
just like her father, or not her father, but just like Luke.
just like Luke, just like
It's-
Anakin.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we got to keep the cycle going. And I'm just like, let's go with some creativity, y'all. Let's.
But what I'm gonna go with is that
But this is
Those are
supposed to be the
Skywalker
new
tropes.
trilogy.
yeah,
So
this is where
This could be a better trilogy with Finn.
You,
How much
you're allowed,
richer
You're allowed
would
to say
story?
that would be better and that
Yeah.
would be richer. And I get where you're coming
I
from.
still
there,
love
but
Rey though. I love Rey.
What
And
I was going to say is
I love
that
Rey, and
these are different.
we needed a
stories.
female strong character for Star Wars.
Yeah,
She would have
It's
been
about time.
cool Femme Solo.
Femme
if you
Solo
think
is a
about
great
it.
idea. Yeah,
She would have been a dope.
because that's how.
I
That's
mean,
how
completely
Solo.
different character, acting
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah.
She
she could still be Rey.
no, she can't. Rey,
Think about the interaction.
Rey is
No,
not
that's-
confident enough
That's
to be a
that's
Han
what I was
Solo.
going to say. Is that
She wouldn't
Rey-
necessarily become a exactly like him. She would still keep her characteristics, but she's innovative and she's very smart, kind of like Han Solo. I mean, Han Solo is kind of one of those characters
Now
who gets by
you're-
it with heart, but
Yes,
he can teach
yeah.
her that. Like
He
sometimes,
gets by with heart.
Mhm.
yeah, right.
He's definitely not
And-
the smartest.
And that could be the character development where, like, hey, you can't have everything planned out perfectly. Sometimes you just gotta wing it, and that could be her character.
What I was
development.
going to say is that, and this ties back to like my understanding of all sorts of different games, is that what character trait that you're focusing on isn't necessarily the same character trait that they did go with.
No, because that's
the thing. And
the
so-
direction of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this unique characterization that you would think would be a good avenue may not be what everybody actually assumes is what makes the character's identity that character, right? So going back to what I talked about with Paladins and Overwatch, okay? In Paladins, there is a red-haired goth-looking punk chick who wears big-ass battle armor.
Nice.
Okay, You look at this character. In fact, I might just pull it up on the phone. And then you look at another character. The character from Overwatch is the exact same idea, except it's pink-haired, and they call her Zarya.
Okay.
Now, what makes this character that character is completely different in either game.
Okay.
But everybody is still going to be busy being like, oh, Paladins is copying Overwatch. And it's like, they don't even play the same game. They're not the same game. They look the same, sure. But now you're just comparing a Reuben that's on rye and a Reuben that's on wheat.
And you mean by making
those
the
are sandwiches.
making the making the comparison between Rey and Anakin and Luke?
Yes, you might be focusing on the actual meat of the sandwich, whereas everybody else is like, well, I mean, it's a sandwich that's on rye bread. Like, it doesn't really matter what kind of sandwich I'm eating; it's still going to be rye bread.
I don't know, man. I think
Like, I'm not saying that you're wrong in wanting that. I'm saying that wanting Femme Solo and all the things that you were saying about like potentially Femme Solo,
It would be
Rey
the
could have
same.
been
It would be the same thing, but just switched. Like same character. Like you're saying that I just don't want to feel like I didn't want to.
I wanted a black lead
that's
role.
different. That's different
because
if you say I don't want a female Luke, I want a female Han Solo. It's the
you have to stick somewhat to the formula. You have to so that you can sell the tickets.
But it would be cool to see a black lead.
Yeah.
As the main character,
especially since he was a stormtrooper. What?
Yeah.
Then you could have had him do some dope
it would have
gun.
been cool, and I do
gun
love how
dreams.
he dealt with PTSD. That was a huge thing for Star Wars.
Dude.
And like
never have they ever talked about that in a film, for a family film, PTSD, and they do that in the Star Wars.
Yeah,
film.
definitely not this level.
I mean, they have talked about it in the comics and the books, which is a huge entire galaxy that is just as big, if not bigger than comic books universe.
Lore, right?
Yeah.
Have you gotten a chance to read any more of the Brandon Sanderson stuff?
I'm still on Mistborns.
So,
everything you want from that Star Wars film that you just said in your head has already been made in the comics.
That's what I was going to bring up. Is like
it's there.
The content is there. It's just unfortunate that the direction that the movies, the films that they're taking is not going to be what you want. And basically, what leading it back to Brandon Sanderson stuff, it's like the story that he's going to give you may not be the one that you want, but at least with Brandon Sanderson, you can like appreciate the story you're getting and then still explore his other universes in the Cosmere, knowing that they're all connected.
Like with the Han Solo film. Okay, this is why they didn't start making a bunch of different ideas come out, because Han Solo didn't even do that well in the box office. It did well for a movie, but not as well as they hoped for. Which is why they don't make those risky decisions, and they save that for the TV shows and the comics and the books.
Yeah, no, it's definitely backed by money.
This is America.
Again, this is America. That's why I guess I wish that we could challenge ourselves with art and cinema.
Only with us.
We can, but the masses.
I mean,
the masses aren't going to.
We're getting a bunch of Disney remakes.
Yeah, they're not going to be received as well as what is out there. Which is the same formula.
Which is why we want to keep our eyes on those independent films.
Like the masses don't always know what they want, and sometimes it's really, really risky to fund such projects.
Oh yeah,
that's the big thing.
When you're spending millions.
If Black Panther came out before the new Star Wars installment, I think they might have found that we should go in the direction where Finn is the Jedi. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, like they could, like you could make that work.
Because now they're like,
but before,
okay, this is successful. Let's do this.
Definitely before,
I tied it back.
Everybody would be like, "Oh, you can't make that work."
Yeah.
But now that, which is really nice, and now we're actually getting Asian Americans in films, even though some of the new film that is coming out, I don't care for. But it's just nice to see that.
I'm really, I hope that, and I'm super stoked for you guys.
First it started with getting females into main leads.
Yes.
Now we have African Americans getting main leads. Now we have Asian Americans getting main leads. And then hopefully we can just have movies where everybody has somebody to connect with.
It's just a weird, because I would love it if we could have like a movie with a Mexican main lead, like a
that
American Mexican lead.
I was gonna say that isn't like a stereotype.
That doesn't have to be a like
they're not out of LA, and they don't have a shaved head and a fat mustache and giant jeans and a giant white shirt and cholo. No, like just a normal hi, like me. Hey, what's up, guys? Just a normal fun-loving dude who's, like has a lot more elements to me than just the fact that I'm a Mexican dude. But
oh, you mean like an Ant-Man?
There you go. Well, yeah, even that, even he's still
even
a stereotypical
was like
Mexican funny dude. And
which again is progress, but not enough.
No.
Yeah. Because he was just playing a normal dude. At least I felt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, still stereotypes to associate to that. Like he literally could not stop running his mouth. He was running it 15 billion times really fast, and that was like that is a stereotype. But I still appreciate the character.
Yeah, and I think the weird thing is that we live in the bubble that is California, where
San Diego,
just most of California is it's like all cultures for the most part. We're like very multicultural. We're open to. Oh,
that means we gotta end this.
Yeah, that is the vacuum monster. We have technically been over with the regular movie review.
We just turned it into a fun fan fiction debate. We hope you guys enjoyed that.
God.
Instead of our regular movie review, it was literally that bad that we had to go into another topic of conversation.
Which is okay.
For you guys.
It was fantastic.
We're saving you time by having us watch it and stuff, and then So I want to apologize because I definitely got into a zone of rambling, trying to prove my point and give you different examples. But I also did remember what the original point was, which was, like we said, kickstarting risky goals or just risky things like that. Definitely, there is a time for it, but
you got to time it right. Yeah.
You also got to make sure you're doing it justice, because everybody knows Mighty Number 9 flopped, but Castlevania or Bloodstained is already super popular. People are already learning new speedrun routes for it. Like that game already just looks like a good Castlevania game. That's the thing.
Marvel is definitely leading the way to multicultural movies.
Yeah, they really are. It's very exciting,
and and they've had to do this subtly with a slow build, and they just kind of keep changing a few things and putting it out there, enough to the point where now they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, they've gotten there.
Which is why we have these Guardians of the Galaxy, this crazy movie. 10 years ago, you wouldn't see that.
No way.
That's too weird.
It's Thor Ragnarok, which I finally was like not feeling guilty about watching because it's on Netflix. Like
that movie's fantastic. I love that movie.
That movie was great. I hate the meme, by the way, of like young teen kid looking up like Thor Ragnarok song. That's like I always forget the name, but I know it's a Led Zeppelin song. That's the thing. It was like that meme hit my soul because I'm like that's Led Zeppelin. Even I know that.
Black Panther, Captain Marvel coming out.
Yeah, that one's going to be very interesting. There's a lot of fun facts. I did a lot of reading up on what Captain Marvel's powers and origins were.
Spider-Verse, or the Miles Morales Spider-Man movie,
that's
coming out
be fun
in December. Also, Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, I started watching that.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I really like it. The way they show the parallels, and almost their childhood flips.
Yeah,
which is crazy. But they show them, like the way that's directed side by side is cool.
Well, in this case, they did a black kid who lives in like a suburban like a very suburban life.
Yeah, but
very normal.
But flipped.
Yeah,
because he started out opposite.
Yeah, and then like a white girl who's like kind of living on the streets and stealing and stuff like that. So it's pretty refreshing. What were you gonna say?
Speaking of like superhero shows also on Netflix, it was Black Lightning. Now that was really cool. Have you guys not checked that one out yet?
I've watched a few episodes. Yeah, it's a DC show.
It was fun.
It's actually.
I thought it was
not
really
bad.
fun.
It's pretty cool.
Is that supposed to be Static Shock? You guys
No,
remember
it's
that?
Not. It's not Static Shock.
I once.
Yes, I love Static Shock.
I did too, man. It was dope.
This is not Static Shock.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought it was really. I just had fun with it. Like, I don't know. I had fun with Luke Cage, but not the same kind of fun. I thought that this was a little more self-aware.
Yeah.
Of what it was trying to do.
That's kind of cool. I think if you can be ironic and self-aware,
yeah,
then it makes it have a better impact and it's received a little better. So I don't know. I think we should end it here. We had a fun like little fan fiction thing right now, a little talk. Let us know if you guys enjoyed that. We'll do a little more of that sometimes if the movie sucked and we want to jump into that instead.
We just want more independent thought. We really do, and it's nice. Yeah.
If I like being pleasantly surprised, like when
I'm okay with non-independent thought
as long as it's extremely well done.
If it's self-aware,
if it's self-aware, like Deadpool in a way.
Oh, Deadpool was fun.
Yeah,
that film was crazy.
Yeah. But at the same time, if you think about it, it's still a normal comic book hero movie.
Just satire,
but
it's just crazy.
Yeah,
just flips it on its head.
There's so much self-awareness in it that they're just kind of like, yeah, we get it. We're a comic book hero movie, and this is the same formula in a lot of movies. But
But watch this shit.
But just watch it anyway, because
see what happens.
Have fun. To wrap it up,
yes,
follow us at
HSTSC33 on Instagram, Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber on Facebook. And then shoot us any emails at hstsc33@gmail.com for any movie recommendations that you guys want us to watch.
For those of you at the live stream, I've got a panel set up down below with a little banner. You'll read it. It says Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber. We've got links to the Facebook, the Instagram, the Blogspot, and the Spotify.
Yes. Hey, don't forget to check out the blog, the hstsc.wordpress.com for my World Embryo manga review. Hope you guys enjoy it and that you guys go and check it out.
Yeah. Peace.
Yes. We're Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber. Good night. Good night, guys.